When I was younger, I believed happiness came from speed. I chased deadlines, filled my calendar with obligations, and treated free time like a luxury I could never quite afford. The culture around me celebrated hustle, move faster, climb higher, produce more. For years, I followed that rhythm, convinced that constant motion meant a successful life. But now, as the seasons of my life have stretched into their later decades, I have discovered a profound secret. True happiness, especially in our senior years, thrives in slowness. Slow living is not simply doing everything at a snail's pace. It is a deliberate, mindful choice to experience life fully rather than rush through it. It means valuing quality over quantity, savoring moments instead of collecting them, and finding joy in simplicity. And while anyone can embrace slow living at any age, it holds a special magic for those of us entering or enjoying our senior years. Why? Because age reveals the truth that time is the most precious currency. After decades of running, we finally see that the race was never the point. The quiet morning coffee shared with a friend, the afternoon walk under trees, the lingering dinner where conversation flows without glancing at a clock, these become the treasures. Slow living allows us to collect those treasures every single day. One of the first gifts of slowing down is the return of presence. When you stop rushing, you begin to notice the small miracles that have always surrounded you. The golden light across the kitchen table, the scent of bread toasting, the sound of a grandchild's laughter in the next room. These details are easy to miss when life is a blur. Seniors who practice slow living often speak of a renewed wonder, a childlike appreciation for ordinary beauty. Presence becomes a daily practice, and with it comes a quiet joy that no material possession can match. Health, too, finds nourishment in slowness. Our bodies, especially as we age, respond to gentler rhythms. Leisurely walks replace frantic gym sessions. Fresh meals prepared with care replace fast food eaten on the run. Rest becomes sacred rather than indulgent. Many who adopt slow living in their 60s or 70s notice improved sleep, steadier energy, and a sense of well-being that no pill ever delivered. The body thrives when it is treated not as a machine to be pushed, but as a companion to be honored. Relationships also deepen when we embrace a slower pace. In our hurried years, we often squeeze loved ones into the margins of busy schedules. But slow living places connection at the center. Long visits, unhurried phone calls, spontaneous cups of tea, these become the norm. Friends and family feel truly seen and heard. For seniors whose social circles can shrink over time, this intentional connection is a lifeline. It is not just pleasant. It is essential to emotional and even physical health. There is an unexpected financial wisdom in slow living as well. When you stop chasing speed, you stop chasing unnecessary spending. Simpler pleasures, gardening, cooking, walking, reading, cost little but enrich the soul. Many older adults find that slowing down naturally leads to mindful spending and a lighter, more sustainable lifestyle. Money serves life rather than driving it. Perhaps most surprisingly, slow living sparks creativity. When we are no longer racing, our minds have room to wander, to dream, to notice subtle connections. Seniors who paint, write, or start small businesses often say their best ideas come during quiet, unstructured time. Slowness is fertile ground for imagination. But embracing slow living is not always easy. We live in a culture that equates busyness with worth. To slow down can feel rebellious. You may encounter doubts. Am I wasting time? Falling behind? Missing out? The elders I've spoken with laugh gently at these fears. They know the real waste is a life spent in constant haste, never pausing to savor the very experiences we work so hard to create. The journey into slow living often begins with small, intentional choices. Waking without an alarm once a week. Eating a meal without screens or distractions. Choosing to walk instead of drive for short errands. Saying no to commitments that drain rather than nourish. Each small decision is a step toward a richer, more meaningful life, and the rewards compound. With each deliberate pause, you rediscover parts of yourself long buried under obligation and noise. You hear your own thoughts more clearly. You remember dreams you once postponed. You feel a quiet confidence that happiness is not out there to be chased, but right here, unfolding in the gentle rhythm of an unhurried day. For seniors especially, slow living is not just a lifestyle. It is a celebration of everything learned across decades. It honors the truth that life's greatest joys, love, health, creativity, connection, cannot be rushed. It invites us to step off the treadmill of endless doing and simply be. And in that being, we find the secret so many spend a lifetime seeking: enduring happiness. Many people imagine slow living as a retreat from ambition, but seniors who practice it quickly learn it's the opposite. Slowing down isn't about giving up. It's about focusing in. It means directing your energy toward the things that matter most and allowing everything else to fall away. Consider the way we measure success. In earlier decades, success often looks like promotions, income, or a packed social calendar. But as we age, those outward markers lose their hold. The quiet satisfaction of a meaningful conversation, the pride of nurturing a garden through the seasons, the simple dignity of caring for one's own body. These become truer measures of a life well lived. Slow living shines a light on these subtler victories, revealing them as the real trophies we've been seeking all along. Travel is a vivid example. Many seniors find themselves finally able to explore the world, yet those who embrace slow living resist the urge to cram a dozen cities into a week. They linger in a single village, learn the rhythm of its mornings, taste its bread, talk with its residents. They come home with fewer photographs but richer memories. The goal is not to see it all, but to truly see the few places they choose. And that mindset transforms every journey into something sacred. Slow living also allows us to heal from the wounds of earlier years. When life moves quickly, old hurts remain buried under constant activity. But when the pace softens, feelings surface, sometimes painful but always instructive. Seniors often describe how quiet afternoons bring unexpected clarity about past relationships, mistakes, and triumphs. They find forgiveness both for themselves and for others. They let go of long-carried burdens. In this way, slowness becomes a path to emotional freedom. The natural world becomes a trusted companion on this journey. A slow lifestyle draws us outdoors, where the gentle rhythm of nature reminds us of life's own cycles. Watching a sunrise, tending a small garden, noticing the shift of seasons, these experiences are profoundly grounding. They reassure us that change is natural and that growth often happens in silence. Seniors who spend time with the earth frequently speak of a deep, almost spiritual connection to something larger than themselves, a comfort that transcends age. Community, too, takes on new meaning. In our younger years, relationships may revolve around work or shared obligations. But slow living encourages connections built on shared presence rather than shared tasks. Potluck dinners with neighbors, leisurely afternoons in a local cafe, book clubs that meander through conversation. These simple gatherings nourish the heart. For seniors who may face the challenge of shrinking social networks, such community is priceless. It combats loneliness and fosters a sense of belonging that no digital feed can replicate. Technology, of course, is part of modern life, and slow living does not demand we abandon it. Instead, it invites a conscious relationship with our devices. Many older adults discover the joy of scheduled digital Sabbaths, hours or even days free from the ping of notifications. Freed from constant alerts, they rediscover uninterrupted reading, longhand letter writing, or simple daydreaming. Technology becomes a tool rather than a master, and peace flows back into daily life. Finances often shift in surprising ways as well. When we live slowly, we spend more intentionally. We cook at home, find pleasure in free community events, repair rather than replace. The result is not deprivation, but abundance, a sense of having exactly enough. Many seniors report that this mindful approach to money brings relief and a quiet pride. They realize that wealth is measured not by what we accumulate, but by how fully we savor what we have. Perhaps the most profound change comes in our relationship with time itself. In our younger years, time feels like a race against scarcity. We cram schedules, multitask, and plan obsessively, fearing there will never be enough. But slow living reveals time as something elastic and generous. By doing less, we feel we have more. A single afternoon spent in conversation or creative flow can feel expansive and complete. Seniors often marvel that their days, once a blur, now feel full even when little is scheduled. This shift invites us to redefine productivity. Instead of asking, "How much did I get done today?" we might ask, "How deeply did I live today? Was there a moment of genuine connection, a breath of gratitude, a task done with care?" These become the new metrics of success, and they guide us toward a gentler, more fulfilling existence. Slow living is not a rigid set of rules but a flexible philosophy. For some, it means moving to the countryside. For others, it simply means creating pockets of calm in the city. It can look like morning meditation, afternoon tea, or a nightly walk. It can be practiced alone or with loved ones. What matters is the intention, to honor the present and let go of unnecessary rush. And so, as we settle deeper into our senior years, we discover that slowness is not an indulgence, but a birthright. After decades of striving, we have earned the freedom to set our own pace. In embracing it, we not only enrich our remaining years, but also offer a powerful example to younger generations, that a meaningful life is not about how fast you move, but how fully you notice each step. One of the most striking revelations of slow living is how it reshapes our sense of identity. For much of life, identity can be tangled with titles: parent, manager, entrepreneur, caregiver. These labels serve us for a time, but they also tether us to constant performance. In later years, when careers wind down and children build their own lives, many people feel adrift, unsure who they are without the busyness. Slow living offers an answer. You are not your resume, your possessions, or your past roles. You are the quiet awareness behind every breath. In stillness, this truth becomes clear, and it is profoundly freeing. This realization also invites a reimagining of ambition. Seniors who once chased external milestones often discover a gentler, inward ambition, to grow in wisdom, to deepen compassion, to cultivate joy. Ambition doesn't vanish, it matures. Instead of racing toward promotions or accolades, it turns toward becoming a kinder neighbor, a more patient friend, a curious student of life itself. Such ambition never expires. It ripens as the years unfold. Slow living can also rekindle a spiritual dimension, whether tied to faith traditions or simply to wonder at existence. When we pause long enough to notice a star-filled sky or the intricate veins of a leaf, awe naturally arises. Many elders describe how these moments of quiet awe feel like prayer, even if no words are spoken. They speak of a sense of connection, to nature, to humanity, to something vast and benevolent. It is a spirituality that needs no temple beyond the present moment. Creativity, too, often blossoms unexpectedly. Freed from the tyranny of packed schedules, seniors find themselves painting for the first time in decades, writing poems, experimenting with music, or crafting with their hands. They approach creativity without the pressure of mastery, and that playful freedom becomes its own reward. A handmade quilt, a short story, a garden sculpture. These creations carry a unique vitality because they were born from leisure, not obligation. Friendship deepens in this slower rhythm. Without the rush of earlier years, conversations stretch luxuriously. There is time to ask real questions and truly listen to the answers. Many older adults say that their most meaningful friendships formed after they retired or intentionally downshifted. Freed from professional rivalries and social posturing, these relationships are chosen purely for connection and mutual care. They become a powerful antidote to loneliness and a wellspring of daily joy. Slow living also reframes our relationship with the body. Instead of chasing youthful appearance or athletic feats, we learn to honor the body's changing needs. Gentle stretching in the morning, an unhurried walk at sunset, mindful breathing before bed. These become sacred rituals. Rather than lamenting limitations, we marvel at the body's quiet resilience. We thank it for carrying us through decades and treat it with the tenderness of a trusted companion. Diet, too, takes on a new character. Cooking becomes less about speed and more about ceremony, chopping fresh vegetables, simmering soups, baking bread that fills the home with comfort. Meals become gatherings, not tasks. Even eating alone transforms into a meditation, each bite savored with gratitude. Many seniors discover that this slower, more intentional approach to food naturally supports health and creates a daily rhythm of pleasure. Family relationships benefit immeasurably. Grandparents who embrace slow living give the gift of presence to younger generations. They are not distracted by phones or pressing deadlines. They are there, truly there, to listen to a child's story, to teach a recipe, to share family history. These moments plant seeds of memory that will nourish grandchildren for a lifetime, carrying the elders' love far into the future. Another profound aspect of slow living is learning to say no. After decades of saying yes to extra projects, social obligations, endless favors, many elders finally realize that no is a complete sentence. Declining what does not serve one's well-being is not selfish. It is self-respect. This discernment creates space for what truly matters: rest, creativity, meaningful companionship. It allows seniors to design days filled with intention instead of obligation. Interestingly, those who adopt this lifestyle often find that opportunities of real value appear more frequently. By stepping off the treadmill of constant doing, they become more attuned to what resonates deeply. A new friendship, a volunteer role, a creative pursuit. These doors open naturally when life is not cluttered with noise. It's as if the universe waits for us to slow down before revealing its finest invitations. Slow living even transforms our understanding of aging itself. Instead of resisting every sign of change, elders who embrace a gentler pace come to see aging as a beautiful unfolding. Wrinkles become evidence of laughter and survival. Silver hair reflects the light of countless dawns. There is pride, not shame, in a body that tells the story of a full life. This acceptance radiates a quiet confidence that younger people often find magnetic. And in this unhurried existence, gratitude deepens to a near-constant state. Seniors speak of waking each day with a simple thank you, for breath, for light, for the chance to witness another sunrise. Gratitude ceases to be an occasional practice and becomes the very atmosphere of life. It colors every interaction and infuses even mundane tasks with meaning. In these ways and more, slow living becomes far more than a lifestyle trend. It is a profound shift in how we relate to time, to each other, and to ourselves. For seniors especially, it offers a path to happiness that is sustainable, nourishing, and filled with quiet wonder. As slow living takes deeper root, something remarkable happens. The sense of competition fades. In youth, life can feel like a race, comparing salaries, homes, vacations, even milestones of love and success. But when we slow down, the need to keep up simply dissolves. Elders who embrace this rhythm often speak of a sudden lightness, as though a heavy cloak has fallen away. They realize that comparison was a thief of joy all along. Happiness is no longer measured against anyone else's life, only against the quiet contentment of their own. This release creates space for true generosity. Without the constant drive to achieve or outshine, seniors find joy in sharing time, wisdom, skills, even material possessions. A neighbor's garden flourishes because someone took the time to share cuttings and advice. A young family benefits from an elder's patient guidance. Generosity is not charity. It is a natural outpouring of abundance when life slows enough for gratitude to blossom. Slow living also strengthens resilience. Life will always bring change: illness, loss, unexpected turns. Those who have cultivated a gentle pace meet these moments with steadier hearts. They have practiced letting go of control, so they bend rather than break. Elders often say that slowing down taught them to breathe through uncertainty, to trust that storms pass and that each day contains enough strength for itself. An equally profound transformation occurs in the way we perceive beauty. When life is rushed, beauty is background. When we slow, it moves to the foreground. Seniors talk about how colors seem more vivid, how birdsong feels like a personal serenade, how even the play of shadows on a wall can hold them spellbound. This heightened sensitivity is not childish. It is the reward of attention. It reminds us that wonder was never lost. We simply stopped noticing. Slow living invites a re-examination of legacy as well. Instead of striving to leave behind monuments or material wealth, elders begin to think in terms of values and presence. Did I love well? Did I listen? Did I make the people around me feel seen? These become the questions that matter. And because slow living prioritizes connection over consumption, the answers often bring deep peace. Work itself, even in retirement, transforms. Many seniors discover second callings, not careers defined by profit, but roles that bring purpose. Mentoring, volunteering, crafting, teaching, these pursuits may generate little income but offer immense satisfaction. The absence of urgency allows for a different kind of productivity, one measured not in dollars but in meaning. Interestingly, the slower pace can even deepen our engagement with art and culture. Without the need to skim or multitask, elders find themselves reading novels with luxurious attention, lingering in museums, attending concerts not as background noise, but as immersive experiences. They become connoisseurs of depth rather than collectors of quantity. Slow living also nurtures mental clarity. Constant busyness scatters thought. Slowness gathers it. Seniors who practice it often describe sharper focus, better memory, and more balanced emotions. Meditation, journaling, or simply sitting quietly with a cup of tea can become powerful tools for mental well-being. The mind, like the body, thrives when it is allowed to rest. Relationships across generations flourish in this environment. Grandchildren sense the difference when a grandparent is unhurried and fully present. Younger friends or neighbors find a rare refuge in conversations that are never rushed. These intergenerational bonds enrich both sides. The elder feels purposeful and connected, while the younger gains perspective and wisdom unavailable in textbooks or online. The art of listening becomes a defining trait. In a world where people often wait impatiently for their turn to speak, slow living encourages genuine listening. Elders who master this art become beloved confidants. Their calm attention communicates respect and love, healing relationships and deepening trust. Listening, they discover, is as nourishing as being heard. As days unfold in this gentle rhythm, even the passage of time feels different. Seniors frequently note that while years may seem to fly, individual days feel expansive. A morning of gardening can feel as rich as an entire week once did. Paradoxically, by slowing down, they experience more of life, not less. And there is laughter, more than one might expect. Free from schedules and pretension, elders often rediscover a playful humor. They laugh at themselves, at the quirks of aging, at the small absurdities of daily life. This lightness is contagious, drawing friends and family into a circle of shared joy. Ultimately, slow living teaches that happiness is not a destination reached after decades of striving. It is a way of traveling. Seniors who embrace this truth find that even ordinary days shimmer with quiet fulfillment. They no longer chase moments, they inhabit them. As the seasons pass in a life lived slowly, a subtle but powerful transformation emerges, a profound intimacy with time itself. Hours are no longer something to spend or waste. They are companions. Mornings carry their own quiet music, the kettle's soft whistle, the creak of a wooden floor, the first slant of light across the table. Evenings arrive not as a deadline but as a gentle invitation to rest. Seniors who choose this pace often say they feel inside time rather than forever chasing it. They have stopped trying to hold the river back and have learned instead to float. This intimacy with time brings a new courage in the face of mortality. When we are forever rushing, death feels like a thief waiting in ambush. But when we slow down and truly inhabit our days, we come to see that every moment has always been finite and therefore precious. Many elders describe an unexpected serenity as they contemplate the end of life. They speak of gratitude rather than fear, of a readiness that arises from having truly lived rather than merely hurried through the years. From this serenity springs a deeper compassion for others. Moving slowly allows space for empathy to blossom. A neighbor's troubles are no longer just passing news. They become a shared concern. The elderly gentleman down the street, the single mother balancing 3 jobs, the teenager quietly struggling, each becomes more visible when we are not blinded by our own haste. Seniors who practice slow living often find themselves naturally drawn to small acts of kindness, a handwritten note, a warm meal, a patient ear. These gestures, though modest, ripple outward in ways no one can measure. Slow living also reawakens our relationship with the natural world. The earth itself moves at a patient pace, trees growing ring by ring, tides shifting with lunar rhythm, birds migrating along ancient paths. By aligning our lives more closely with these cadences, we rediscover a sense of belonging to something vast and enduring. A walk in the park becomes a conversation with centuries. The scent of rain becomes a reminder that we, too, are part of a larger cycle. Elders often say that this connection with nature is one of the most profound sources of comfort and happiness they know. Technology, once a relentless driver of speed, finds its rightful place in this new rhythm. It becomes a tool, not a master. Phones may still ring and messages may still arrive, but there is no compulsion to respond instantly. Seniors who embrace slow living use technology intentionally. Video calls to see distant grandchildren, music streaming to fill a quiet room, online libraries to explore forgotten classics. The key difference is choice. They choose when to engage and when to set the devices aside, reclaiming their attention as the most valuable currency of all. Financial priorities also shift. With fewer impulses to consume, elders often discover they need less than they imagined. Rather than chasing the next purchase, they savor what they already have. A well-loved chair, a garden that yields its quiet harvest, a wardrobe of comfortable favorites. Simplicity becomes wealth. And paradoxically, this contentment can bring genuine financial freedom, easing anxieties and allowing resources to flow toward experiences and generosity rather than clutter. Perhaps the most beautiful gift of slow living is the clarity it brings about love. Not only romantic love, though that too can deepen when time is shared without distraction, but love in its widest sense. Love for friends, for family, for the world itself. Seniors speak of how this love softens their judgments and quiets old grievances. They realize that many past conflicts no longer matter and that forgiveness, of others and of themselves, is the most liberating form of freedom. Storytelling becomes a natural extension of this love. Elders who live slowly often feel called to share their journeys, not to instruct, but to connect. They recount childhood adventures, the twists of fate that shaped their paths, the lessons etched by both triumph and loss. These stories, told without hurry, become treasures for younger generations, a living archive of wisdom that no book can fully capture. Slow living also encourages what might be called sacred idleness. These are moments when nothing needs to be accomplished and nothing at all is wrong. A rocking chair on a porch, a gaze out the window as dusk gathers, a silent prayer of thanks. In a culture addicted to productivity, this simple being is revolutionary. Seniors often find that such pauses are when insights arrive unbidden, when creativity sparks, when the heart feels most alive. As the years continue, gratitude settles not as a practice, but as a permanent lens. The ordinary becomes luminous. The weight of a grandchild asleep on the shoulder, the scent of bread baking, the way sunlight pools across a familiar floor. This gratitude does not deny life's hardships, loss, illness, farewells, but it holds them gently, balanced by the abundance that remains. And so the secret is revealed. Slow living is not a retreat from life. It is a deeper participation in it. It is the conscious choice to exchange frantic striving for attentive presence, to measure wealth not by accumulation, but by the richness of each passing hour. For seniors, it is the ultimate source of happiness because it honors both the body's need for rest and the soul's hunger for meaning. If there is one message to carry forward, it is this: you do not have to wait until your hair turns silver to begin. The invitation is open at any age. Start by noticing a single breath, by lingering 5 minutes longer over a morning cup of tea, by walking without earbuds so the world can sing to you. In these small acts of slowing down, you will discover what elders know, that life's greatest treasures have always been here, waiting patiently for you to arrive. So let us honor the wisdom of those who have walked before us. Let us learn from their quiet revolution. And let us remember that happiness is not hidden in the next accomplishment or the next possession. It blooms in the space we create when we dare to slow, to listen, and to simply be.